So if you can just tell us your name and what your role is.
My name's Connie Lobb, and I'm the Director of Operations in Enterprise Technology.
Great. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, how far back should I go? I've been in Texas 13 years, and I've been at UT for almost 13 years. I moved here, didn't quite have a job lined up, but moved here with my ex-husband, and now I've just made this my new home, and so I've been here 12 and a half years at UT.
Yeah, so what's one thing people might be surprised to learn about you?
I have a lot of various hobbies that I like to do outside of work. Growing up, I ran track and played soccer, and when I stopped playing soccer for a long time, and in college I had a hurdling scholarship, so I ran track for a university up in Ohio, and that put me through school. And about maybe 15 years ago, I started playing soccer again. So I play soccer still maybe 4 or 5 days a week. So it's my happy space, my version of the gym. I also like to bake, so I do a lot of baking. Most recently, for the last couple of years, I've been baking sourdough. So when I do come into the office, I usually bring some sourdough and tote and pawn it off on whoever will help taste test it for me.
So how did your career path lead you to your current position?
I've been in higher ed for a long time. Started in 2000, May of 2000, so really 26 years ago. Wow. The university that I went to, Kent State University up in Ohio, maybe a year or so after I graduated. 2 years after I graduated, I got a job there. Started really at an entry-level secretarial position. I have a business degree. Marketing was my focus, and just getting my foot in the door. Where the university is, it's the largest employer in that area, so it was a really good place to just kind of get your footing, and worked my way up through there, kind of leveled out as far as what I could do in that area, and decided to move down to Texas, have a different avenue to take my career. And when I first started working at UT, I was doing communications. I was brought on to help backfill an employee that was ill for the Office 365 migration. So it's an interesting project, learned a lot. After that, they asked me if I had managed people along the way, asked me if I had managed anyone, and started helping in some other areas where they needed it, and started managing the what's now the ET Ops team, but had a different name back then before we merged. And so just have been building on my knowledge here at the university and learning as much as I can. And my world now is a lot of procurement, so I've done procurement certifications, and really just whatever else I can learn. So just keep piling on.
What has been one of the most rewarding moments in your career?
One of the things I did a few years ago, I think it was 2019, there was a leadership growth program that was something here. I think Central HR put it together, and you had to apply, you had an interview. It was a pretty lengthy acceptance into the cohorts each year, and there was about 10 of us. And so just getting back into that type of mindset after being away from having to kind of present some sort of portfolio and where I wanted to go, and just kind of take my career to the next, take my position to the next level, like putting myself out there. So I did get accepted into that, and we had to do a project. Part of the reason I'm here today is I do not love public speaking. So I try to find challenges where I can and just get comfortable by going through it. So one of the things with that project at the very end, we had to present our project to a room full of, it was probably 85 to 100 of the senior leadership members around the university. So it was a lot of names and a lot of faces, and so just getting through that and completing that was tough, but I was not gonna not finish it.
So how do you stay motivated and inspired in your role?
I really enjoy, I like helping people. I like solving problems. Really just whatever challenges there are, I'm not going to back down. I might have to, take a look and take a step back to see the bigger picture. But seeing those things come together and moving, whether it's somebody learning something on the team, or we're, have a new process that we develop to make just things easier for people, that is something that helps keep me going. And, we do the work that we do, the work that I do, the work that my team does, like we're really behind the scenes. So it's nice to see those things come together, because we don't always get to see the impact that it has across campus, but locally we can see a lot of impact.
What's the best piece of professional advice you've received or given?
As far as what I've been given, I think focus on the things that you can control. A lot of times, you can get overwhelmed with all the different things going on. So if you just focus on what you can control, then the other things start to fall in place, and then they're not as chaotic. As far as advice for other people, I think, someone starting out, like, learn as much as you can about the things, learn how things fit together, and just keep building on that, and, develop critical thinking skills. Just help. It helps to have those things as a base and work on those, because then you never know where you're going to be able to fit it into, what challenges, what projects, what things will come up. So never stop learning.